Good evening, everyone. Thanks for waiting. So right now, I thought that I would be starting, and I heard about Z HTTP, which is a library used for web servers and such. And a few friends of mine mentioned that I should check it out, so I decided to just share my experience with you, discovery experience with you. So yeah, let me just switch scenes. There we go. Programming. Hey, you can probably see me now. All right. So let me open IntelliJ. I actually already opened it, and I'm going to click here on a new project. Pretty cool. So as you can probably already see, I have the Scala plugin for IntelliJ already installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, go to SBT, and click on Next. Right. So then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to call it website. Well, streaming, and then website. That way I can see what I'm talking about. The package prefix is going to be com.funky.streaming.website. And I am going to use a JDK 14, which is what I've got installed on this machine, SBT 155s and Scala 213, which were the default on this machine. So let's click on Finish now. So now the next thing it's going to do is that IntelliJ is going to create a new project, try to get all the dependencies and everything directly. So let's wait for that. So as we can see already, the project's been created. It just needs to extract everything, create all the dependencies, all the libraries potentially, and things like this. So let's wait a few more minutes. Loading project definition, that is looking good. So far so good. Yeah. So shutting down SBT server, that's good. All right, so now I see at the bottom part of the screen that all my files are getting indexed. So let's wait a few more minutes. It's probably going to index the JDK as well. Okay. So already I have the basic structure of an SBT project. I have build.sbt here. I have my source folder that contains, as the name indicate, all the different sources. Project, which is going to contain project-specific configuration, and a few things that were automatically created. So I've got this .bsp, .ide, and target. These folders were automatically created for me. All right, so now that I have my project that was created for me with my build.sbt, which is awesome. Yep, cool. All right, so right now it complains because it can't find a configuration file called scala.fmt.conf, which is these. Well, one thing to know is that my IntelliJ is configured to pick up is .scala.fmt.conf if it exists in the folder. So I am going to create it, and then I will show you in the settings where you can define it. So let's first create this guy. So new, and I'm going to create just a regular file, which I am going to call scala.fmt.conf, like this. Cool. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to put the version of my Scala file in it. So, well, I'm kind of lazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up for previous projects that I had, and I'm just going to reuse them. So give me 1 second. I am going to do that. So let's see. Which one can I use? let's take this one. So here, that's going to be version equals 3.0.1. Max column equals 120 characters, so I can have 120 characters max per column. And the last one, align.preset equals more. So that really is my most basic configuration. This one is going to be used to format my Scala files. Now let's see in my settings where that is configured. So we can go here to File, Settings. And once I have this opened, what I can do is I can just search for, well, I think I remember it's in Editor, Code Style, and then here I am going to try and see if I can find Scala, there it is. And so here the formatter on your machine might be IntelliJ. In my machine that is going to be Scala FMT, and more specifically by default the configuration is going to be the one in the folder, in the project folder, like this. Okay, so I don't need to do that. My Scala FMT has been created. Next step for me is really going to be to go and make the file, make this project, create versions of this project. So I can go to VCS and just do everything, just create my Git file like this. Or let me open here. I've got this Windows Linux subsystem that is already open on the E drive, and more specifically in streaming project. So here I should have, so if I do, so I am going to go into my folder, do a git init, and now I've just created my folder. It has been this git configuration has been created, and IntelliJ picked it up, and I see here that this git tab now is available. I don't think it was a few seconds ago. So here I've got the list of all different files that IntelliJ suggests I add to my thing, and when I take a closer look I realize that these seem to be automatically generated, and indeed they are in the target folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a .gitignore file which tells Git to, well, as the name indicates, ignore these files. So let's go here, streaming website, right click, new file, and the name is going to be git ignore. That's a convention, and I am going to add it to Git so that Git can see it. Nice stuff. And here I want to say that everything that belongs to a folder called target is going to be excluded. So let's save that. And suddenly I went from more than 100 files to just 17 files. So let's take another look. Okay, the next one that I don't want to see is this .idea. So let's do that. Let's exclude .idea. And we go from 17 to 5. So I've got this Scala FMT, which I just added. Awesome. Build.properties. Nice. Build.sbt. Perfect. Plugins.sbt. And then I've got this sbt.json, which I am not interested in. And this one belongs to the .bsp file folder. So what I'm going to do is, again, I am going to add .bsp to the list of folders or files that I am not interested in. So now I've got these 4 different files, which are files I am interested in. So I'm going to move them to changes so that the next time I run a commit, these are going to be added to the commit. Good. So before I do my first commit, I just would like to make sure that Scala and SBT are working properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open here src, go to main, Scala, and I'm going to do a right click, new, Scala class, and select object, because I am going to create my main object, the starting point, the entry point for my application. And I am going to call it main because I'm kind of out of ideas. It's already 10:30 p.m. I had a long day, so not having that much ideas. And I'm going to add this one to Git. Cool. All right, so in this main class, I'm going to first start and do something pretty simple. Let's do a hello world example. So I am going to type main. And here I'm lucky because IntelliJ offers to have a template for the main method. So let's select this template. And then I am going to type print line hello world. Nice. All right, so IntelliJ recognizes it. I've got these arrows that allow me to run it directly from IntelliJ. I can just click there and click on run main. Will take a few seconds and run it here. Let's wait. Building stuff, reading compilation settings. Let's wait for this to complete. It's taking its sweet time. Okay, compiling, running after task, finish, build, nice. And indeed, now I can see hello world. So this is how you would run it from IntelliJ. Now let's go and back here. What I can do if I wanted to run it straight from the command line is just type sbt run like this. And it will, well, here I've got this message, create a new server. I'm going to say yes. And it will launch SBT and try to run the program from the command line. You might need to get SBT installed, which if you are interested in, I will cover in a different session. Right now, I'm just going to get this to run. So let's wait for everything. Compile one Scala source, that's good. Let's wait a bit more. Yes, and indeed I can see here I've got this hello world. So everything seems to be working fine. Nice. Good. All right, so here I am done with this first thing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just commit all my changes. So right click on changes, commit files, and I am going to call this my initial commit. Good. So let's do this. Commit. Good stuff. Code analysis. Well, no need for that. I haven't done anything really. And anyway, it's probably all going to go away. Okay, so now I have this project and I want to add the ZIO HTTP functionality to it. So let's open the ZIO HTTP website and I actually already went there. So it's on github.com/dream11/ZIO-HTTP. And here I've got this ZIO HTTP. We've got all the marketing telling us about it's a Scala library for building HTTP apps. Good stuff. And what I am interested in is I've got this getting started. So what I am going to do first before I do this getting started is, well, I need to set it up through my build.sbt. And they mentioned to do this in the build.sbt. My personal preference is to do it separately. So let's create. I'm going to create a one Scala file that contains a list of all the libraries, and then I am going to import these settings into my build.sbt. Let me show you how to do that. So back to IntelliJ, I'm going to go to my project folder, right click here, new Scala class. And this Scala class or object, I'm going to call it libraries like this. I am going to add it to Git. One very important thing to do is at the beginning do an import sbt dot underscore. So we're going to see that we need it later, especially for these person signs that we are going to require afterwards. So here I am going to copy this whole thing here like that, and val z http equal, and then paste this thing. Here we see that version seems to be a variable, and it is shared with z http test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new object that contains a list of all the different versions. So versions like that, and val z http version equals an empty string for now. And I will reference, so here I will do import versions dot underscore to import everything in the object version, and just copy this one. So let's replace the string with this z http version. Okay, so let's go back to the website and see what is the current version. So the current version apparently is v1.0000, release candidate 17. I'm kind of lazy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Nexus, copy the string like that, and just paste it in my z http version like this. And there we go. So now I have my z http version, which is going to be used here. Good. So I've got this library. What I want is I want to import my library into my project. So let's go to build.sbt. And I have here these library dependencies like this. And since I might have multiple libraries I want to use, I am going to do the ++ equal operator and pass it a list or sequence. I'm not sure which one is required, but list. And here I'm going to say libraries dot zhttp. There we go. Cool. So let me save that. And since we have a new dependency in my project, I'm going to click on load sbt changes so that IntelliJ or sbt is going to read all these dependencies, index all the files, and make sure that everything's there. So let's wait a few seconds. In the meantime, I am just going to go to this website. So I've got this getting started. Let's take this example here. And I'm going to use this example in my main.scala. So let's do this, Control V. Well, I'm going to move the imports before my object like this. The name of the object is main. Well, I can do that. So Control C, replace hello world with main like this. All right. And let's press the Control Alt L to just reformat everything. All right, good. So now I'm going to take a look. So here the override def run, I've got my arguments, which is a list of strings. Perfect. I return a URIO with a Z and an exit code. So that is a ZIO thing. We're not really going to touch it today. Maybe later, but not for now. Here we've got this server.start method. So as the name probably indicates, server.start is how we start the server. And the first argument is 8090 here, which is the port I am going to listen on. So here I can change it to 8080, for example. And then I pass an argument, which is app, my app. And app defines this here. So that looks like the router of my application. And then I've got this .exit code in case when I want to close my application. Okay, so let's take a look at app. So app, I've got http.collect request. So my understanding is that when I get a request and I seem to have some kind of a pattern matching, well, maybe not really pattern matching, but at least some partial function. So in case the request is a get method and I am making calls to root/text, then I am going to return the string hello world. All right, sounds easy enough. So let's try to run this guy. So sbt run, create a new server, yes. So let's wait a few more seconds. Compiling everything, sweet. Takes some time. Let's see. Okay, yet another compiling session. Let's see. Okay, so I've got here running, and then I've got my main class, so that is awesome. And if I go now and try to open localhost 8080, so there should be something. Okay, so I've got here the URI, requested URI was not found on this server. Indeed, that's if we go back here, there's nothing for just the root. However, I've got case method.get root/text. So let's try to call. Let's try to call text. So 8080 like this, text, and yes, indeed, I have hello world. So that is pretty nice. Okay. So next step now is I want to capture the path of my application. So let's do this. Here I've got this text. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try root. Can I just, because we are using a partial function, I'm going to try to do this. root/path hello world. I made a request to, and here I am going to pass the name of the variable path. Come on, so $path like this. And what is nice is that string interpolation with IntelliJ was automatically added. So here, if I restart the application and type any path, it should always respond with hello world. and then indicate what was the path I tried to access through a get method. It probably won't work with a post or something else. So let's do that. I'm going to, first I probably need to reload everything. So let's close this. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I just killed the process. I'm going to restart it again. Yes. So it is all restarting. Let's see. Compiling, and then now it's running. So let's go back here. If I refresh, I should get a different message. I should have hello world. Yeah, hello world, I made a request to text. If I try to do this, this thing is great, like that, and press enter, and hello world, I made a request to this thing is great. Cool, that seems to be working. Nice. So now the next thing I am interested in is, well, I will probably use this for a website, right? And I might have some static resource. So what I want to do is I want to put a static resource in my class path somewhere, and then call this one whenever I need it. So first of all, let's go and create a static resource. So here I'm going to put it in, I'm going to create a new subfolder to main, new directory, and I'm going to call it resources, like this. And in here, I'm going to create new file index.html. Add. Okay, so I've just added a new index.html. I'm going to create a basic HTML file like this. Cool. Head like this, and then in the head I'm going to have a title. This title is going to be hello world. Nice. Ooh, maybe without any typos. And then I probably need a body, and we're going to put in h1. So this h1 is a title. So hello ZIO HTTP world. All right. So now I have this index.html. Let's go and check the documentation. I'm sure that there must be something about it. So you can check out more examples in the examples project. I've got simple server, advanced server, maybe advanced server. Let's WebSocket, no. Streaming response, no. Simple client, no. File streaming, oh, that one looks more interesting. And authentication, let's go to file streaming now. So in file streaming, okay, I've always had this thing, then app. If I call health, I've got this response okay. So if I guess that must be some kind of a heartbeat URL to make sure that everything's fine. And then I've got this method.get /file, and then I respond. I've got this response.http content equals content, and content is defined here. Okay, so let's take this and do the same. So I'm going to go here, val content. I'm going to go to my main.scala, and Control V, I'm going to paste it. So content, I'm going to change it to make it a method instead. So def content URI, which is going to be a string like this. And it is complaining because it's not finding ZStream. So I'm going to add ZStream paths as well. So yeah, the path must be this. Let's go back to the examples, try to see. So yeah, ZIO.streams and Java Neo files paths. So here, paths.uri, I think this one will be working with the file system, but not with the class path. And let's give it a try nonetheless. So I'm going to stop this process. Okay, let's restart the process. Yes. So everything is restarting. Compiling. That's the thing about Scala. We seem to be compiling stuff again and again. Okay, so now we've got this running com funky functor. All right, so I'm going to go here, refresh it. Oh, no, this one. Okay, it is still working, which is normal because I am not calling this content. So what I am going to do is I am actually going to do this case method dot get like this, and if I call the root, then I think they had this response dot HTTP. That sounds good. And then the content was equal to content. And here I am going to call my index.html. So Control S, let's save this guy. Like this, okay. Let's restart this. So as usual, rebuilding everything. We've got an incremental compilation. That's good. We don't have to recompile everything. Okay, good. So it is running now. If I refresh that, I should still be getting this thing is great. However, if I run localhost 8080 and then slash without anything afterwards, yeah, okay, so localhost didn't send any data. I've got an empty response, and ooh, that is really nasty. So here I have some exceptions. No such file exception, index.html. Yeah, so I need to get okay, index.html must be on the class path and not on the, well, it is on the file system, but it can't find it at this location. So from file, I'm not really serving it from file. Do I have something like from resource or from class path or something like this? From input stream. That sounds promising. And here I've got this get class dot get resources string, and I think I'm gonna call URI. I believe that's how we get a resource stream. Okay, let's try that. So let's close this. All right. Running it again. Yes. So it is reloading everything. That's good. Compiling. Nice. I am really interested in that. Okay, so the main is here. Let's go here. Refresh this guy. Hopefully, no, this page isn't working. Okay. So what is the error? Exception. Oh, hang on. That might be because it's not get class or get class loader. Get class loader and then get resources stream URI, and then that was index.html. I wonder if it's not what is causing the problem. So let's try that again. And as you know, that's the problem with being live, even though it is recorded for later. So let's see. I'm going to try that again. Yes, I want to run a new server. Okay. So far, so good. Leave this one on this side and open that one on the other. Okay, so the main is ready. Let's refresh this. Yay! So now I've got hello ZIO HTTP world, and I've got hello world as the title of my page. So now I am able to load static resources from the class path, which is going to be useful later when I want to add, let's say, images or JavaScripts and things like this. Okay. One last thing that I would like to do is, so I've got my website and I want to do redirect to my Discord page. So let's do a redirection. So whenever someone calls, so case method dot get and calls root / Discord like that, then in that case I want to redirect to my Discord server's invitation like that. Okay, so let's take a look here. So I think in HTTP request is it 3.0 something 3.01. So HTTP redirect. Redirection in HTTP from Mozilla. So URL redirection. Okay. So here I do a get dark, and then the server replies 3.01 moved, and then location with the location of the new document. Okay, so that's, and location is a header. All right. Okay, so here let's take a look at these response. Response HTTP. So that's an HTTP response, and here I can see that this HTTP needs a status, a headers, and some content. So let's do this. Response dot HTTP. So status is going to be status object, and then moved permanently. That's good. The headers is a list of header objects. So let's do that. Headers equals list of header objects. So let's create one. Header dot accept all, create authorization header, accept content type. And I think I needed something called location. That doesn't seem to exist. No, that doesn't seem to exist. So, but luckily I've got this custom. So here I'm gonna go here and call it location. And so I assume that must be a key value thing. So let's see. Custom, so name, yeah, key value and the value. So the value here, I will need to go and check my notes. There we are. So here I'm gonna do this. Value equals that. Okay, let's do a reformat. So now if I called root Discord, then I got this redirection to this URL. If I make a call just to root, I've got index.html, and generally speaking, if none of these previous things has been met, I am just going to say hello world, I made a request to path and indicate that what path I tried. So again, I'm going to control C this. Goodie. And let's restart the application. Yes, I want to start the new server. And by the way, when they mention create a new server, they are talking about an SBT server, not my server I'm working on right now. So here everything is being compiled. All right, so the server seems to be working. This URL should still be working as well. Okay. If I do /test, this works as well. And now the moment of truth is if I type Discord, yay, I am redirected to my Discord. So everything seems to be working. Sweet. Okay, so I think I am done for tonight. To be frank, I'm getting a bit tired. But next time, let's put a to-do. So next time, what I am going to do is I am going to, because I've got a contact form that I want to parse, so see how we can parse a contact form sending data in JSON. So that's, I think that should be interesting. We're gonna investigate this and see how this works. Probably also do some refactoring on the project because right now I have these different URLs and it's getting the method is, well, this val is getting a bit big, so I'm going to try and see if I can make this a bit smaller. And yeah, pretty cool already. All right, well, thanks for your time tonight, and talk to you soon, I guess, on next Saturday or maybe even earlier, who knows. Cheers, have a very good day. Talk to you soon then.